This presentation is based on monohybrid crosses. This should help you if you are struggling with basic Punnets and vocabulary that are covered in Learning Target number 11. You'll need to know homozygous, heterozygous, dominant, recessive, genotype, and phenotype. So if we look at this little chart here, we can have just an example. As an example, maybe we should have an N for nose. And we can say that N, the large N, or the dominant allele, would be for a large nose, and the little n, or the recessive allele, would be for a small nose. So genotype here is going to be our letters, just the alleles. So a homozygous dominant, homozygous meaning the same, dominant, of course, meaning the large letter. This would be big N, big N. Homozygous recessive, again, same thing for homozygous, it still means the same letter. Recessive, that means we're going to have small n, small n. Heterozygous, meaning different, means that we'll have one large N and one small n. The phenotype, on the other hand, is meaning the physical representation of the allele. So if I have large N, this would mean that it's a dominant, and we just said that the large nose is the dominant allele. Homozygous recessive, small n, would be for a small nose, because that's the recessive phenotype. Big N, little n would again be for a big nose. That's because this large letter is represented here. It's going to overpower the small n, because we said that dominant, or the large N, is almost like dominate, and that means it's going to take over. So if we want to do a whole example problem, we might say the freckles trait. Freckles trait is recessive to no freckles. If a heterozygous female had a child with a homozygous dominant male, what would be the chance that they would have a child with freckles? The first thing you want to do is write down all of your possible phenotype genotypes. Okay, so we'll start with our homozygous dominant. And I would like to use an F because freckles starts with F, and F is pretty easy to use. So I'll use a large F, that's my homozygous dominant. Large F, small f is my heterozygous genotype, and small f is my homozygous recessive genotype. Large F would stand for no freckles, because no freckles is the dominant trait. Large F, small f, our heterozygous genotype, remember the big F overtakes the small f, so this again would be no freckles. Small f is our homozygous recessive genotype. This is the only way that we can see freckles. Anytime you have a monohybrid cross with a Punnett square that has just a recessive and a dominant trait, the only way that you can ever see the recessive phenotype is if you have this homozygous recessive genotype. You have to have little f in order to see freckles. So, I'm going to go back to my problem, and I want to look specifically who my mom and my dad are. Here, this says a heterozygous female. Heterozygous female, that means I have two different letters. So here where it says mother, I'm going to go ahead and put my heterozygous female genotype. Big F, small f is heterozygous. It says that this heterozygous female has a child with a homozygous dominant male. Homozygous dominant, I know, is big F, big F. Homozygous meaning the same letter, dominant meaning it's large or dominates. When I cross this, I need to make sure I put all these letters in the correct box. So I'm going to go ahead and cross big F here and big F here. So I'll have big F, big F. Then I need to put this big F here and this big F here. So again, I have big F, big F. Then I need to go down to the bottom, and at the bottom I see I only have this little F, but I need to bring this one all the way down, and this one here. And in that case, I will have big F, little f. And then again, I'm going to need to bring this big F here all the way down, and this little f all the way over. So again, I have big F, little f. You'll sometimes want to write it like this, little f, big F, and that's not done. It's almost like starting your name with a lowercase letter. It's just not what you do. You always write the uppercase letter first, just because that's how it's always seen. So here I have a couple of different genotype possibilities. I have big F, big F, big F, big F. So I have that twice. And then I have big F, little f, big F, little f. So the only children I can have are big F here, and big F, little f. Both of these stands for no freckles. My question asks me, what would the chance be that they would have a child with freckles? So since I have big F, and big F, little f, I have a 0% chance of having a child with freckles.